In the shadows of our society, there lurks a darkness that terrifies us to our very core. Today, we're about to unveil the mysterious life of a man who has become synonymous with fear, Ted Bundy, one of the world's most notorious serial killers. He was charismatic on the surface, but had a frightening desire to cause harm. Brace yourself as we unravel the story of deception, manipulation, and unimaginable violence that lies ahead. Viewer discretion is advised, as we will be discussing sensitive and disturbing content. Ted Bundy was born as Theodore Bundy on November 24, 1946, in Burlington, Vermont. His mother, Eleanor Louise Cowell, was known as Louise, and his biological father's identity remains uncertain. His mother, Louise, wanted to avoid the social stigma of being an unmarried mother, so Louise allowed her parents Samuel and Eleanor Cowell to raise Ted as their own son. Raised by his grandparents, he had a seemingly normal childhood. However, early signs of disturbed behavior began to emerge. It included an obsession with knives and an increasing lack of empathy. Experts say that his turbulent family history might have contributed to his psychopathic tendencies. Particularly learning his sister was his mother and his parents were actually his grandparents. Bundy's disguise of normalcy continued during college, where he attended the University of Washington. He was seen as charming and intelligent, engaging in student politics and holding down various jobs. Yet, behind closed doors, he was committing a series of violent crimes. On January 4, 1974, he broke into the basement apartment of Karen Sparks, his first known murder victim. Bundy violently beat her, leaving her unconscious, but she survived. Later that year, in June, he targeted 4 female students in a shared house. He repeatedly beat and strangled them to death. The brutality of these crimes shocked the community. It sparked fear among young women, who were his primary targets. Ted Bundy's modus operandi was extremely cunning. He would often fake injury or ask for help to lure his victims into his car. He would then gain their trust before attacking them. Bundy sometimes pretended to be an authority figure, like a police officer or firefighter, to disarm his victims. His charm and good looks helped him in gaining the confidence of these young women. Bundy would then drive them to isolated locations where he would sexually assault and murder them. He often returned to the crime scenes to perform gruesome acts on the corpses. He would engage in necrophilia and even beheaded some of his victims. During his reign of terror, Bundy managed to escape from police custody twice. The first escape occurred in June 1977 when he jumped out of a courthouse window during an initial hearing in Colorado. Bundy remained on the run for several days before being recaptured. In December of the same year, Bundy escaped again from a Colorado jail by cutting a hole in the ceiling of his cell. He managed to avoid authorities for weeks, traveling to Florida, where he continued his killing spree. On February 15, 1978, police officer in Pensacola, Florida noticed a car driving unsteadily. When officer attempted to pull him over, Bundy fled, leading to a brief chase. The chase ended when Bundy crashed his car into a telephone pole and he was arrested by the police. Bundy's trial was a media spectacle, and he continued to manipulate public opinion from behind bars. Bundy chose to represent himself. He charmed the court and even proposed to his longtime girlfriend, Carol Ann Boone, during the trial.
Carol, do you want to marry me?
Yes.
And I want to marry you.
Yes.
And I do want to marry you.
You said you did.
He used every opportunity to delay the proceedings. Despite his charisma, Bundy was eventually convicted on multiple counts of murder and sentenced to death.
The advisory sentence rendered by the jury does hereby impose the death penalty. You're a bright young man. You made a good lawyer. I'd love to have you practice in front of me, but you went another way, partner. Take care of yourself. I don't have any animosity to you. I want you to know that. Take care of yourself.
Thank you.
He spent years on death row, confessing to a total of 30 homicides, but the true number of his victims remains unknown. Ted Bundy fathered a daughter, Rose Bundy, who was born on October 24, 1981, while he was on death row. He was executed in the electric chair on January 24, 1989, at Florida State Prison. Before his death, Bundy confessed to the authorities and psychologists, providing insights into the mind of a serial killer. The case of Ted Bundy serves as a chilling reminder that evil can hide behind a charming facade. As we remember the victims, we must also learn from their tragic experiences and remain vigilant against such dark forces. Subscribe to Truth Revealed to stay intrigued and informed.